Otherwise, it gets
How about
rusty.
the wok?
Oh, the wok's not bad either.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But, yeah, it works great. The tools are a little rustic, you know, so you sort of get this Neanderthal kind of feeling when you're cooking.
Mm-hmm.
But it really works really well.
Does it?
Yeah, it works better than all the aluminum ones.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, boy, I sure hope we do a lot of business for Chef Crowley and Wally Nash now. That made me very happy.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
You're a great American. Man, that's all I wanted to hear. And the salads here, thanks to a Green Sheet Randy from over across the street, the salads here. Thank you, Randy, for picking it up. We have most of the lines open now. We were doing okay there toward the end of the hour, and then the news came, and adios, bye-bye. We're busy today. We got full, rich lives. We don't have time to talk to you. You know what? Guess what? I don't either. I'm eating lunch. And look at these beautiful plantains. This is one of the great discoveries in the history of mankind that Sonny has made for me, discovering plantains. In the store, I mean, they look ratty, you know? They look kind of like stale bananas. Although there is a beautiful fresh banana in here. Can I interest anybody in a beautiful banana? No? How about a beautiful green apple? Because you know what they say, I made little green apples. That's what I say. And if you eat enough of these, you get the green apple quick step, which is very exciting. Anyway, it's 11:07 at WIOD. We have an open line in Broward. I just saw Phil Costin walking down the hall again. Give a big smile in here. I'm sorry, Phil. I couldn't make it, okay? Don't get upset. They hate me like poison because I didn't go to the games. Hey, listen, I can't live my life to make everybody else happy. That's all there is to it. We have an open line in Broward. 524-PLANTAIN. 524-WALK. Kendall.
Oh, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, pal.
That guy with the walk, I got his rustic right here, you know what I mean? I didn't make the game this weekend, either of them.
He said there is one problem, though, when you're trying to clean out the skillet.
What was... Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It is very hard.
Yeah.
So since I didn't make the game,
Well, I guess you're another slime ball like I am, sir. I guess we'll have to do several years of penance to make up to all these people who hate us like poison because we didn't go to a ball game.
Well, I ended the next best thing was watch TV, and I watched the skiing masters, you know?
Oh, that's good. That's almost as good as the beach volleyball. That's one of my favorites.
Also, I have a request.
I'll bet.
Can you play
Could be
the
a
Mike
short
Tyson
call.
tape?
Yeah, right. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. It's 11:08 at WIOD. The Mike Tyson tape met an awful fate here not too many days ago, never to be heard again. We had another one that we played a couple of times that also will be never heard again that I liked a lot. It's 11:09 at WIOD, and here's a mobile from Key West.
Will you do me a favor, Neil, and just kind of like fill in the blank on this one real quick for me, so to speak?
What?
Can you fill in the blank for me on this one? Oh, well,
How
not
was
like
that?
No. Just fill this one in. Dennis Clyer, major. Thank you, Neil.
Okay, no problem. 11:09 at 610 WIOD, your class station for the 90s. We're a class act, and don't let anybody give you any crap to the contrary, okay? We just do what comes naturally. These are good, too, these bite-sized bagel chips that came, racetrack. Oh, and did I hear Mike Ranieri say this morning he was going to have Alta Cocker Sydney calling in? We're carrying the Triple Crown races again, of course, this year, the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes. Does that also mean we're going to get a chance to chat with our good, close, personal friend Dave Johnson? Great guy, who usually calls us, gives us the drawer, and his own personal analyzation of the races. That'll probably happen. But also, Alta Clocker Sydney is going to be calling in, handicapping the races on a Mike Ranieri show. Wow. What that man doesn't know about horse racing could fill volumes, like an encyclopedia. Anyway, there's one open line in Dade, 751 WIOD. The ladies are not going to participate today. It's the post-holiday thing now. It was before the holidays. They were busy shopping. Now they're busy doing something. We have an open line in Palm Beach, 655-9463, 655 WIOD. How about watching a great ball game tonight? If you have Sports Channel of Florida, no problem. If you don't have Sports Channel of Florida, you're going to miss out. A lot of good stuff. For example, this month, catch the National Hockey League playoffs exclusively on Sports Channel in all over 40 live games leading up to and including the Stanley Cup playoffs. Call your local cable company today. I guess they mean leading up to the finals. Also, our friends at Sports Channel of Florida are making great progress in getting cable companies to pick up on their service. So the calls that we keep urging you to make are getting the job done. It takes some time. It's a little bit slow, just like our audience. But in the long run, it pays off. In fact, Hollywood Cablevision just recently added Sports Channel of Florida because their customers demanded it. They wanted it, and they wanted it like yesterday. So if you want to follow the National Hockey League, the Heat, the Canes, the Gators, and some real sports, not just that Canadian curling, you get Sports Channel of Florida. And if your cable company doesn't have Sports Channel of Florida offered to you, give them a call. And be sure and tell them that rotten, cantankerous Neil Rogers at WYOD sent you by, asked you to demand Sports Channel of Florida.
Boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Really like boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Down in the locker room, just three boys. Beating down the locker room with all that noise. Singing, do you like boobs a lot? You gotta like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Do you wear your jock a lot? Yes, I wear my jock a lot. Got to wear your jock a lot. Gotta wear your jock a lot. Jock a lot, jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. Got to wear your jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. Down on the football field, you never can tell what a heel can wheel. So you gotta wear your jock a lot. Gotta wear your jock a lot. Jock a lot, jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. If I had a flag along, if I had a flag along, if I had a long flag along, if I had a long flag along, if you like boobs a lot, tag along. Baby, boppy, boob a lot. Gotta like boobs a lot, boobs a lot, boobs a lot. Gotta like boobs a lot. They're big and round. They're all around. They're big and round. They're all around. Yes, I like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Do you like boobs a lot? You gotta like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Down in the locker room, just three boys. Beating down the locker room with all that noise. Singing, do you like boobs a lot? You gotta like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Do you wear your jock a lot? Yes, I wear my jock a lot. Got to wear your jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. Got to wear your jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. Got to wear the jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. Down on the football field, you never can tell what a heel can wheel. So you gotta wear your jock a lot. Gotta wear your jock a lot. Got to wear your jock a lot. Gotta wear your jock a lot. If I had a flag along, if I had a flag along, if I had a long flag along, if I had a long flag along, if you like boobs a lot, tag along. Baby, boppy, boob a lot. Yes, I like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. Gotta like boobs a lot. They're big and round. They're all around. They're big and round. They're all around.
It's hard. It is very hard.
Well, I'm enjoying playing some of their carts, I'll tell you that. Not boobs a lot, but that other little stuff. In fact, most of their stuff is like just a couple of seconds long. Have you noticed that? Seriously. Well, that's because they're two guys trying to talk. They can't have a lot of long stuff because it makes for too long of an interruption. So, like, short stuff like that is good. It's 11:16 at WYOD, your short station. And here's a mobile in Pompano. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Send for one of those rusty walks.
Yeah?
It arrived rusty, really. It tells you to put a thin coat of oil on it, but first you got to scrape the rust off.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, listen, they got this incredible spray-on in a can product that eliminates rust forever.
Oh, for sure.
Rust and crust. You spray it in your walk and on your underwear. It's tremendous.
Neil, you got against the Panther name. It's a great name. I even have a Panther plate on my...
Oh, come on. Giving me a break, will ya?
What do you hear from Madonna, Neil, really?
Have a nice life. Panthers. That is the most pathetic, embarrassing, crappy thing. And again, it's an ego trip. He went to some stupid little school in Fort Lauderdale, and their nickname was the Panthers. So we're going to call the baseball team the Florida Panthers. It's just not a baseball name, okay? It sucks. The Panthers. Oh, the more you say it, the worse it is. I mean, even the Pelicans, I mean, that would be Bush League, but even that would be better. The Panthers? How about the Leopards? Or just the Lepers? How about the illegal aliens? We have an open line in Dade, in Broward, in Palm Beach. Well, I knew if I said enough of them, we'd be right. Now we have one in the Star Line and one in Palm Beach. Star IOD if you have Bell South Mobility. Very, very... And you realize the holidays are over now. You know what that means? That means everybody's gone. This town is clearing out like they had a mammoth bomb scare. It's not only the frogs that are leaving, everybody's gone. And let me tell you another thing. As long as I'm sitting here getting wound up like a gigantic alarm clock, like Big Ben and Drag, the Chamber of Commerce people in this town lie through their teeth. There was that big article a few weeks ago about how we got all of Quebec is here, half of Quebec, and we got all these French Canadians, and in spite of the war and all this other, tourism is down only a little bit. Tourism in this town, not only, you can't complain about it because there wasn't any this winter. We had no season. There was nobody. The hotels were dying over there. Seriously. You could call up the management at any hotel in Broward County and you'd hear...
I'm dying over here.
Exactly. Or you could call up the management at any hotel in Dade County and you'd hear... Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself in any language. Dying. And yet they keep lying. I'm dying if they're not lying, I'll tell you that right now. And that bugs me. See, because they don't want the public to realize how incompetent and stupid now they've chased everybody out of here. Not just the spring breakers, but everybody they've chased. But we're a world-class city, man. Yeah. Just keep saying it often enough, and sooner or later it'll come true. It's 11:19 at WIOD. Palm Beach cares about nothing. They're just not going to talk to us today. And you know what? We're pretty excited about it ourselves. Here's a mobile in Miami on his dime.
Hey, Neil.
Okay.
How you doing?
Yes.
Went to Joe Robbie Stadium on Sunday for the game. First time I've been at the stadium. We had a ball.
Great.
Took 5 people over there. We sat up in the club seat.
Well, I didn't go, and Phil Costin is pretty upset about it, I'll tell you that. He's standing out in the hallway right now, waving his arms around in the air, throwing objects at the window, having a nervous breakdown because I didn't attend those games. And
what do you think of the Stingrays?
The what?
The Florida Stingrays?
Sucks.
Okay. Listen, I'm moving into a new
Don't
house.
you understand that's not a baseball name?
Yeah. All the good ones are taken.
No, they're not.
Well, what do you
What's
think
wrong
of
with the
one?
Miami Blues?
So
What?
to speak.
Hey, listen, you don't have to... I understand he's got a big Neil Rogers dartboard in there, and he and Cheryl are throwing objects. Oh, he bellyached about those tickets. He wanted those tickets. He didn't even show up at the games. What's wrong with that, right? He's a pain in the ass. I heard the food wasn't that great anyway. You better shape up, Phil. That's the rumor, okay? Hot dogs. I mean, hot dogs are okay for ball games, but let's get back to that dolphin food. Boy, we get some good chow up there during dolphin season.
Neil, can I ask
Great
you...
stuff, if I do say so myself. When does football season start? Soon,
Neil,
we hope. Yes.
Can I ask you a question about satellite dishes?
Of course.
I'm moving into a neighborhood that's not a homeowners association where I'll be able to, put up whatever I want. What's a good dish to start with?
What's a good dish to start with?
Satellite dish. What's the smallest size of a satellite dish that would get a good reception?
7.5. Don't get a 6. If anybody tries to sell you a 6-foot dish, punch him in the mouth and call the police.
7.5 foot.
I have a 7.5. I get magnificent pictures, okay?
Okay.
And don't let him... What?
Can you recommend a good company?
No.
Okay.
If I knew one, I would tell you.
All righty.
I really can't. It's touch and go. As a matter of fact, if you're... you don't have one, but if you knew anybody that's got a dish, do you know anybody that's got one?
Nope.
Like I said...
A couple of my new neighbors do. I might check with them.
No, seriously, the thing to do, there's on satellite F4, Westar 4, not Westar, Satcom 4.
Uh-huh.
Channel 10 is Satellite City. It's an over-the-air satellite thing, and on Channel 15 is another one. But Channel 10, it's only intermittent.
Right.
But the Satellite City, they have the most incredible prices on stuff. A lot of these local dealers here will charge you like double what they're selling. I mean, really good complete units with the dish and the L&B and the receiver and the whole bit. And if you got a neighbor, check that out first, because otherwise you're going to spend much too much money.
Okay, great. It's called Satellite City?
Right.
Okay, great.
It's on F410 for whatever your neighbor. They'll know what it is.
F410.
Right.
All right, and, I had a ball at the game. It was the first time I've been at a baseball game down here since the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Well, Phil Costin thinks you're a great American, sir. He likes anybody who came to those games, and he said anybody who didn't is a slime ball, and he wants the world to know it.
He's got a point.
And I'm at the top of the list.
I'll see you, Neil.
Okay. Hey, listen, if we get a team, I'll be there, okay? I mean, I'm like all these people pulling me in different directions. They want me to go to the track. They want me to go to ball games. I got to go to somebody's bris. I can only be in so many places at once. And, of course, with me, it's a tough decision when I compare between the track and any place else, okay? The track is where it's at. I'm sorry. And then the next day, I was exhausted from plunging my brains out at the track, although I didn't have a winning night. Okay, I had another winning night last night. Not big bucks, not thousands or millions, but okay, not too bad. I mean, I'm not Kelly Shepard, after all. 23 after 11 at WIOD. We have an open line in Palm Beach, 655-9463. It's that time again, the sale to end all sales this weekend at Toyota of Hollywood. If you're thinking about a new Toyota car or truck, do not miss whatever you do. The Toyota of Hollywood Grand Slam Incentive Sale. Value on each and every new 91 Toyota car like you wouldn't believe. Every new 91 truck and van on the lot. You really want Grand Slam incentives? This is the place. Because Toyota of Hollywood has got them. Lowest price, best selection in the Southeast, highest customer satisfaction of any Toyota dealer, and award-winning service department. What more could you want? And a professional sales staff that's there for you before, during, and after you buy that incredible new Toyota at an unbelievable price. Here's the sales event you've been waiting for. The Grand Slam deal of a lifetime waiting for you this weekend at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Taft and Sheridan Streets in Hollywood. Well, tell her that'll teach her to fudge those numbers on me on those ticket sales, okay? 26 after 11 at WIOD, your sports intensive station, yes?
July 27th.
July 27th. Great. Boy, that seems like right around the corner, huh? July 27th, the first exhibition game at JRS. Okay, boy, I'll tell you one thing, if it sounds like I'm eating a lot, and of course, I've been known to do that on the air, I'm not. It's just that the salad goes on forever. There's nothing, peppers, everything low-cal in here. A couple of plantains, slice or two of pepperoni. Wow. If I do say so myself, it is extra good today. Let's try Cooper City. Just a moment, please. Here we go. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know, she was on the phone for so long, she had to go make a quick deposit.
Who's that?
Oh, a lady friend from Colorado. We took her to the ball game and to the zoo. She lost her money at Highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just a big tour, but
here comes the bunny.
Here
goes
is
your
right
sister.
here, Neil.
What?
Here she is right here.
Oh.
Hi, Neil.
Hi.
Well,
you went to the bank?
Huh?
You went to the bank that fast?
Well, yeah.
You said you had to go make a deposit.
We're quick in Colorado.
Wow. That's what Neil Bush said.
So we went to Highlight, and I was the only person in the entire sea of blue hair.
Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of families that used to go to Highlight. In fact, their motto used to be "Incesta is besta." At Highlight.
So the question of the day is, what's the average age in Florida?
Death. Death.
Death?
Death. D-E-A-T-H. Death is the median age. Do you follow my drift?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be okay? But you don't live here. You didn't move here, just visiting, right?
Just visiting.
Well, consider yourself lucky. Because living in this this outdoor funeral parlor isn't easy.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Very hard.
You bet. So how do you like it so far?
It was fun. We had a good time. We went to the baseball game.
Great.
Some people.
Well, yeah, I bet you had living and breathing people there. See, the old farts do not come out to the stadium. Very few of them. Because there's no Metamucil concession out there. But they do go to bingo. They love their bingo.
Bingo.
They have their mahjong tournament. They go to the early bird. They have them up in the clubhouse at Pompano Park. We got all the sea of blue hair in the clubhouse and the grandstand at Gulfstream. You'll see more blue hair than you've ever seen in your life than you can shake a thing at. So write a book about it. It'll be a bestseller in Colorado.
I'm sure.
Have a great time.
Thank you.
How long are you staying?
Huh?
How long are you going to be here?
I'm leaving today.
Aren't you lucky? Well, have a great trip.
Thank you very
and
much.
Tell them all about it, okay? Lie a lot. We need the help.
All righty.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Isn't that something? 29 past 11 at WIOD. I bet you a lot of you people have got some pain in the ass of relatives that are hanging out. I can say that because my aunt left this morning. Now, she's very nice. She really is. We have an open line, and she is, okay? I'm sorry. She's very nice. I had some knedlach yesterday at Mommy's after I left here, after our 17 meals. Had some knedlach and brisket. It was delicious. Fabulous. There's an opening on the Star Line, Star IOD. Anybody know what knedels are? George doesn't know what knedels are? Oh, you'd love them. See, we got you into cannoli. You didn't know from cannoli, and I got into plantains. It's kind of like a bi-cultural show here. Opalaka.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Is a Canadian something, a name tag that a Canadian wears?
Yes, sir.
Every time, I was thinking, I heard your news report.
A Canadian hockey puck in a bowl of soup.
Anytime one of these pseudo-celebrities gets busted for some kind of sex crime, the individual who, was the innocent party, unquote, ends up in a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering what magazine this guy's going to end up
No, it's going to be one of those TV shows, I think, this afternoon about 4:30. You know what it's called?
It's hard. It is very hard.
Very hard copy at 4:30.
And one final thing, Neil, you're perverted, twisted, and sick, and I like that.
Okay, sir. Up yours. This salad today was sensational. And I don't care whether Denenberg likes my saying that or not. Okay? You'll be pleased to know that little Tommy's bringing some brick oven later, George. And since I already had my salad, you'll probably be able to participate. Cheryl's not speaking to us, or we'd invite her. We have an open line in Broward, 524-WYOD. And I see one. We just had a line checker in Dade, so there's one there. We're doing okay for a Tuesday. Nothing I'd get too excited about. I mean, if it was like this every day, I don't think I'd bother coming back again except on Thursday. Here's a lady in Miami Shores.
Hello?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I have a quick question for you. I was watching ESPN last week, and they had some Canadian sport, and I was wondering if you knew what it was. It's a rock they throw on the floor, and this old guy yells at these two young guys to sweep the floor so it
Right.
rolls.
It's called curling.
What is that?
It's the dumbest thing that anybody has ever seen. They call it a stone.
But, they had the stadium packed.
And you should see when those Canadians pass a stone, man, they all go nuts, eh?
You're horrible, but funny.
It's terrible. I'm serious. It's called curling. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Even bocce ball is more sense like that. That's like bowling. The Italians bowl a little bit.
But curling like curly hair?
No, curling. Don't ask me to explain how they got the name. I'm sure some Canuck will call in and tell us about that. Curling. It's dumb. It's idiotic. How the Canadians who invented one of my favorite sports, hockey, we mentioned this the other day, could also invent something that stupid, I have no idea.
Okay.
And they're all sweeping those little brooms. Those are the kind of guys you like to have in your house once a week.
Well, why is it always the older guy who yells at the two young guys who sweep?
You'd have to ask David Cassidy that. I have no idea.
Okay. Can I say something to someone?
Sure.
Stephen, have lunch ready when I get home, or else.
Or else.
That's
Good
right.
job, ma'am.
Thank you.
Have a great day. And in closing? See you later.
Always a gentleman.
Bye. It's 11:32. Well, she's talking about lunch. These little bagel chips are delicious, and there's only in a whole bag. There's how many calories? Like just a second. Very few. 90 in a whole bag. They're good. Garlic, no less. Boy, with that gigantic onion that Sonny served me and this garlic, I should be safe. Of course, in this place, everybody's always safe. Got a lot of ugly people at work here. It's 11:33 at WYOD. We have an opening in Dade, 751-9463, Fort Lauderdale.
Yo.
Yo? Yeah?
Yeah, we're over here celebrating.
Celebrating what, sir?
Our French-Canadian neighbors are leaving today.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Jeez, I knew I needed something. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're jumping into their big mobile living room and rolling on down the street.
Heading up that old Hershey Highway back to where they came from, sir. There you go.
You betcha. We
Nice.
gave them a heck of a send-off, too.
Yes, sir.
Put a rock right through their back window.
Good one.
Yo. Hey, we bought one of those woks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think those are the same woks they advertise on TV, though.
Not handmade in the People's Republic of China, huh?
It didn't have all the little dents in it. It's supposed to be handmade. I'm not buying that.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing like being made by hand. That's what I've always heard.
I'd take your word for that. But otherwise, it cooks up good food.
Does it rust?
Sure it rusts.
Well, good. That's great.
Made out of that cheap
Then you can
metal
get
that
that
rusts a
special
lot.
cleaner that you spray on the top of your car when you have the fire going. That's another good one I like, where they have the fire going on the hood of the car. Have you ever seen that one?
Sure.
That super wax that is good for bald heads and the top of the roof of your car and all kinds of good stuff. Grease up the cat's earlobes. It's fantastic. Well, listen, have a great day, sir. And Tiny says hi. Right, Tiny? 26 till noon at WIOD. That's my pet frog, Tiny. The dog was getting too neurotic. We have an open line. I'll tell you, I had such a long talk with that little dog. He was so embarrassed by the way these people behaved on Friday. He'll never come to this place again. You don't have to worry about that. Little 8-pound dog. Wouldn't hurt a flea. And these people here acted like, oh, geez, you're going to be here all day? Stinking dog. But the most embarrassing part of that episode was Fat Rich was sitting here force-feeding that dog. And I'm not paying any attention because I can't see what's going on the other side of this table. We have this big octagonal thing here. And Fat Rich is on the other side in the chair, and the dog is over there on the floor beyond where I can see. And he's feeding meatballs and lasagna. You know, who knows what the hell else he's feeding. And he's sitting there saying to me, boy, that dog is eating up a storm. Well, who's the big slob that's feeding it to him? Force-feeding my little dog. And so when Andy came in here and stepped in something that he mistook for the Mets, because it smelled just like him, then everybody's making a big stink about that. I'm sorry, I can't help it, okay? He's just human, or whatever he is. 25 till noon at WIOD. It's a fabulous Tuesday. We got Dick and Tater at 2. We got Sports Talk. Somebody will be doing it at 6. We have no idea who. And Hank live from L.A. with author, writer, whatever he is, David Israel. A good Irish boy from 8 to 11 tonight.
Confirmed. That'll be $500.
Oh, gee, that's an awful lot of money.
Well, how much you got? That'll do. Here's your boarding pass, sir. Pick any plane you like.
Airlines are in the dumper, and nobody knows that better than us. We're Desperate Air. Yes, Desperate Air. We'll do anything to get your business. We're the planes with a big brown nose.
Attention, passenger. This is Captain Buttkiss speaking. I'm turning on the no smoking light now, but, hey, I won't tell if you won't.
And Desperate Air has no silly metal detectors to slow you down. In fact, we have no restrictions at all.
Boy, it's awful stuffy in here. You mind if I crack a window?
Well, normally it's not allowed, but I don't see why not.
So fly Desperate Air. Please. Pretty please.
We're real hard up, and it shows.
Call your grovel agent today.
I sure will. It's 11:52 at WIOD. We got a mobile in Boca.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
You know, I'd been trying to get a hold of you, a couple of weeks back. You were making some comments with regards to what's happened to thoroughbred racing in this country. The obvious downswing in attendance and handle. You know, it's the yuppie generation quit going, didn't ever start going to the racetrack. The older generation continued to go. I'm involved in marketing. I've done studies. I've done work for NYRA and for the Fairgrounds and for Jefferson Downs, and they had noted 17.75% decrease in attendance and about an 18% decrease in handle over the years. And we've done programs with giving away free parking programs and, you know, 50 cents off on a beer and things like that have turned around at Jefferson Downs and increased their attendance and handle by over 14-15%.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is partly that of the racetracks. They don't know who's at the track, and the key is to establish a hardcore database so they know who their customers are.
Well, you know, for example, at Gulfstream, if they don't know who's at the track, then they must be wearing blinders, okay?
But they don't know them by name,
the median age of those people is death. And, for example, using Tony Curtis to be the promotional hotshot for Gulfstream this meeting, to me, is one of the most inane things. I mean, they've already got all the blue hairs out there. I mean, young people, living and breathing people, they don't even know who the hell Tony Curtis is.
Well,
and this is the problem, that the fact that all the pari-mutuels in this state, I can't speak for anywhere else, but for years and years, they've been real comfortable sitting back and letting the blue hairs be the mainstay of their clientele. And all of a sudden, the lottery came along, and all the blue hairs decided they'd rather spend their 50 cents or their dollar buying a lottery ticket, and they have no new clientele. They haven't worked to develop them.
Well, right, Neil, but the people that are retired now, they'll still go to the track, but they won't spend as much as they used to when they were working.
Well, plus they're dying off, okay? They don't live forever, so they're dying off, and there's nobody to replace them.
But I'm just saying it.
I mean, if you look at the attendance and the handle at Gulfstream the last few days, it has been astonishing. It's been so bad, just horrendous.
Well, there are ticket sellers standing out in the aisles talking to you saying, did you get... in fact, I got shut out. I got really ticked a couple of times at Gulfstream. They said they failed to put on 14 sellers today because attendance is down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's people going without jobs. All they need to do is get smart with their marketing and get the damn people in there.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Well, preaching to the choir again, aren't I?
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck to you. You'll need it. 11:55 at WIOD. We have an open line on the Star Line, Star IOD, and Palm Beach has been very quiet today. We have no complaints. The market's up almost 19 points. 655-9463, 655 WIOD in Palm Beach. Pompano.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I help you?
Okay, we have an opening in Dade, 751 WIOD, Coral Springs.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
I tuned in fairly late. I heard you talking about the Canadians and that material. Did you see the article in the Herald today, the Lane Ranger?
The what?
The Lane Ranger.
No, I didn't see. I don't get the Herald.
Okay, it's in the Broward Herald. He apparently had done a column on Canadian drivers and...
Kids in Broward out of school this week. Now, I'm confused. The kids in Dade get out Thursday, so they get like a week plus? I'll tell you one thing. If I went to school in Broward and I found that the kids in Dade were getting longer, more days off, I would start a big revolution. I wouldn't be out there at the beach hanging out, screwing around all week. I'd be out there getting civically involved in whatever. I'd be screwing around. 21 after 10 at WIOD. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, so far.
Great. I can't believe my life is so empty that I have to waste my morning talking to you. Isn't that remarkable?
Well, join the club.
Well, I look real important when I'm cruising in my vehicle, talking on the car phone.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who feel. In fact, you realize there are a lot of folks who just hold the phone up to their ear while they're driving, who aren't talking to anybody because that costs some serious bucks. But they hold it up so everybody else will look at them and think they're like an important businessman and they're on some big, like, international drug deal or something.
How did you know I do that, Neil?
Well, I can tell by the sound of your voice.
I can't believe it.
You sound like the kind of guy who's sharp enough to have a cellular phone in the car but too cheap to pay for it. That's why you're on the Star Line, because we pay for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Good
Would I waste any of my time and money talking to you?
I sure hope not. Why do you think we put that Star Line in there? We realize very few people are stupid enough to call us on a cellular phone and pay for it themselves. But if the sisters pay for it, hey, no problem.
Well, it's a good marketing ploy on your part.
Yes, sir.
But I tell you, I chose with a six...
How about that Danny Bonaducci, sir?
Oh.
Danny Bonadouchebag.
Can you spell that?
Not on the air.
Uh-oh, okay.
Only once.
I can't believe... one of the greatest thrills I have is that...
Yeah. They opened up the closet door, and look who popped out.
Hello, world, here's a song that we're singing.
Yes?
Does he hide under the bed or in the closet?
In the closet with David.
Okay, and how's the room for you, David, and him in there?
No, I'm out.
You're out? Oh, that's right. That must have taken a lot of courage to do what you did.
What? To hang out in the closet?
Exactly.
Well, you should have seen who was in there.
Oh, my God. So no wonder.
Well, listen, have a wonderful life, sir. This is ponderous and boring. And call us again sometime when you really want to look important in the car.
1992.
Okay. Soon enough for us. We have one open line in Dade, one in Broward, and that's Star Line. If you want to look like a real hotshot, pick up that phone and call. It's free. And we'll keep you on as long as you want. Just drive around and make everybody feel, hey, look at him, big businessman, hotshot. We ought to play Mr. Businessman by Ray Stevens. For all you really important people who sit there with a phone stuck in your ear. Thing I love about people that make phone calls in a car is they're like driving with one finger on the wheel. I don't know where the other one is. And they're like all over the road. They're just, hey, listen, I'm busy on the phone. I can't be bothered driving. 23 past 10 at your very important radio station, 610 WIOD, and we'll be right back.
Sometimes I feel myself.
It's hard. It is very hard.
1026 at WID. Well, I'm going to start stealing some of Dick and Tater's carts today, okay? Just very... I can't find that big Greps that they got on there, the big Belch. That's my favorite cart. He's probably got some code on it, so I can't find it. We do have an open line at Broward. I just mentioned that in passing. Don't get hysterical now. Just relax. It's a beautiful day. God, the birds are doing it on our cars in the backyard. 524-WIOD, 524-9463 is our number in Broward. But first, we have a crank call from Delray.
No crank call today, Neil.
Oh.
Hey, good morning.
How disappointing.
What a great night last night at Pompano.
You were there?
I was right behind you and Fat Rich.
You were the guy with the two little kids?
No, I was the guy with a friend of mine.
I shook your hand after the race.
Oh, you mean outside?
Right.
Oh, I thought you meant upstairs. We had a guy with two little kids. Very nice family, but they had the TV set. Like, they were not watching the races or even the ball game. They were watching, like, shows.
Oh, that's a shame.
And they had that TV just cranked up blasting. But that's okay. We like people that bring the kids out, get them used to the races, and, but loud TV, real loud. Yeah, it was a great race.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, I was the guy that was hollering probably in your ear when Joe started uncranking up around the
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah. Well, once he got clear, boy, the only question was he going to catch Just Say So? Yeah. Hennessy opened up 3 on the turn, and I thought, boy, he may never catch him.
Yeah.
And, of course, it also didn't hurt that Kawasaki got locked in on a rail behind a dying Wolof. That didn't hurt us either. He got out too late.
That helped. But about 20 or 30 yards before the finish line, you threw your hands up. You knew you had to win.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. I was there with some buddies of mine. It was just... it was just an unbelievable race. Fat Rich showed me his tickets. He had nothing but 5s, 2s, and 7s.
Yeah. Well, I was a mortal triple. What did the triple pay in that race?
I really don't
know.
know.
I mean, that's all I had, 2, 5, and 7.
Yeah, I just went for the straight plunge with the 5. Yeah. I didn't take no chances. I didn't want anything else.
Well, hey, 740 won't make you rich, but it's not bad, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, I had him a few times. Yeah. I wanted to tell you there was something sad that really happened up there at Pompano Park. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but in the 4th race, Bambino Wrangler,
Donald Brainerd.
Donnie Brainerd went for win number 1,000 and didn't get it.
Yeah, well, he was, actually what happened is he was bending over so far forward that I think he fell out of the bike coming off that last turn and never to be seen again. But hey, listen, his nut will come one of these days.
He had the horse burnt through to half and he was whipping dead flesh through the lane.
I love the way he, crouches forward like any second we're going to get to that finish line. Come on, we can get there. And he does, but usually at the back of the pack.
Listen, I'd just like to tell everybody...
All the greats get there. We had Dave Ingraham get 2,000 a few days ago. Michael LaChance got 6,000 Saturday night at the Meadowlands, and we almost had Donald Brainerd get number 1,000 on Monday.
That would have been great. That would have been truly unbelievable.
Yes.
But for all the folks that I tried to get from this office to go up there, as much as I plug Christmas list, one of these guys to go up there and spend some bucks and have a great time and see Neil and Fat Rich, I like to call them all a major douchebag.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations.
Unbelievable.
Don't spend it all in one place.
All right. Thank you, Neil.
See ya.
You have a great day.
Yes. 10:30 at WIOD. Henry is toying with our microphone here and has something in his hand.
Well, we've been reporting all morning that Metro-Dade Police and the FBI were at Alberto San Pedro's home in Hialeah this morning. Little did we know at the time that San Pedro had already been arrested, and they were executing warrants then.
They were executing?
Here's who's been arrested, and here's what's happened. Alberto San Pedro, Carlos Redondo, and Lester Steiner were arrested this morning based on a 9-count indictment which charges San Pedro and Redondo as being part of a racketeering enterprise engaged in drug trafficking, money laundering, extortion, attempted murder, and illegal gambling. WIOD's Jennifer Rim is at the news conference with Dexter Layton and the U.S. Attorney. Yeah. And we'll have further details on this.
I heard that Rick Sanchez drove her over there. Is that true? Is there any truth to that?
No, it's not. No. Can I comment? No.
Okay. Okay. Whatever you say. Well, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And here we thought he was free as a bird. Well, he'll be okay. You know how that always goes.
This indictment, by the way, apparently was handed down on February 15th and has been sealed. It's a 9-count indictment.
I heard that they arrested him in a movie theater. He was watching Eating Raoul in Hialeah, which is the most popular movie over there now, but it could be just one of those ugly rumors.
No, I can't.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Henry, for that very uplifting news.
You're welcome.
It's always a pleasure, and what do you have to say about that, Rick?
It's hard. It is very hard.
Okay. 10:31 at WIOD. We have an open line in Broward. There he is, a great gentleman in his own mind, Henry Barrow, great connoisseur and cheap drunk. 524-9463 in Broward and 655 what is it? WIOD in Palm Beach, whatever it is. You know what it is. Why do I have to keep repeating it for you? Some kind of a lame brain? Fort Lauderdale.
Good morning, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
You remember me?
No.
Charles.
Oh, Charles, what do you want? Go away.
Oh, I just want to let you know I'm still out here. I'm listening
Charles,
to you.
we already got rid of you, Charles. Go back. Call Norm Kent, okay? Call him in the office.
Oh, come on.
He's anxious to hear from you. We don't want to talk to you, Charles. You're a pest. You're a nuisance.
I haven't called you in a year.
You're childish. You're juvenile. You're embarrassing to the human race,
I've grown
Charles.
up.
Unlikely.
Uh-huh.
Unlikely.
When can
if
I
you
come
grew
to
up,
visit?
you wouldn't. See, there he goes. 2 open lines in Broward, 524-WIOD, and 1 in Palm Beach, 655-9463, 655-WIOD. I can see it's going to be another struggle today, but that's okay. How about opening up those drapes there, Andy? Do us something useful, okay, instead of just stepping in stuff on the floor. That's good. No, that's not the way we do it. We like to, unfold those blinds, okay? That's it. Just give it a little twist there. That's great. Anyway, we're going to be doing our show next Monday. Great job, Andy. Fabulous. Maybe they can use you on the Mets with an arm like that. What was I starting to say? Oh, yeah, next Monday we're doing our show at the Fort Lauderdale Swap Shop on Sunrise between I-95 and the Turnpike, and we've got all kinds of stuff to give away, including, now as the days go on, we'll have our crap together a little bit better, because you know how we do everything here. 6 packs of Snapple soda that we'll be giving away, a whole bunch of them. 1-day passes to Atlantis, the Water Kingdom. Those are worth $14 a piece. We got Al Goldstein's going to come by and be our guest. We're going to have carts there for sure. If there are no cart machines, I'm leaving. There will not be a circus. That was a bunch of baloney. And we'll have a lot of fun. You can, what is it? And Subway subs we'll have to give away. So we'll have all kinds of stuff for you next Monday at the Swap Shop. And, of course, you can browse and peruse. And the good news is that most of those French Canadians are already leaving and probably be gone by then. So we can just have a good time by us, okay? And we'll be right there in the indoor shopping complex, surrounded by those fantastic shops with every kind of merchandise under the sun, and the International Food Court with every kind of food under the sun. It's just going to be a 12-day next Monday, 10 to 2, at the Fort Lauderdale Swap Shop on West Sunrise between I-95 and the Turnpike. See, I found it. Wow. It wasn't easy to find it.
It's hard. It is very hard.
Yeah, easy for you to say. 1037 at 610 WIOD.
Hello world is a song that we're singing.
And you know what I wanted to ask this audience? Of course, when I ask something, we never get a response. Have you seen the wok thing that's been on for the last 2 years? Wally Nash with the wok, the handmade wok, made in the People's Republic of China, that's on like every 5 minutes. And if you have a satellite dish, it's on constantly. It never goes off. And we have, used to be Arnold Morris, the Jewish chef, used to be on there pushing that thing. And now it's Chef Crowley, Jerry Crowley, who's one of my favorites. He always, bye-bye for now, with that little kind of fey thing he does. But Wally Nash is on there, the Englishman, pushing those woks. And I love at the end of the thing, they always say, please remember, because these are handmade, there's a limited supply, so be sure and call in for yours now. And this thing's been on for 2 years. And they show all these poor Chinamen over there banging and pounding with their ball-peen hammers and just hocking away on those things. I'm curious if anybody's ever bought one of those things. No? Maybe nobody's bought one yet. That's possible. Okay, we have 2 open lines in Dade County, 751 WIOD. You see, the reason that's a bad question is because that would require women probably to answer that. And women are not ready to call yet today. We have 1 open line in Palm Beach, 655 WIOD. We have a mobile in Palm Beach Gardens.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
I got a story for you. I was living out in California about 7 years ago, and a friend of mine who's the...
have you seen the walk thing?
As a matter of fact, I have. I haven't bought one, though.
Okay.
Yeah. A friend of mine was the captain, West Hollywood Police Department. And I've always been fascinated with law enforcement, so he asked me one night if I wanted to go out and ride with the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I went out, and they put me on what they call the Whore Patrol. They drive up...
The Whore Patrol?
Yeah, this is the God's honest truth. They drive up Melrose and then down Sunset. Melrose for the guys and Sunset for the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, the guys that I was driving with must have spotted something because they pulled over a brand new spanking 450 SL. And guess who was in the car?
Danny Bonaduce.
Danny Bonaduce.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. So obviously he has a tough time getting his own Magumbo. He's got to pay for it.
Really?
Yep.
Well, and evidently he's got interesting... Well, I'm not sure what it is, you know.
Yep.
He was in a closet with a transvestite prostitute.
Yes. He must have gotten one hell of a surprise.
Yeah. Well, he has a little gender problem because he was on that show and he couldn't figure out which one was Susan and which one was David. Because David always had the better hair.
It's amazing. In any case, in closing, I want to say to Fred Addy, he's a loving douchebag. Take care.
Okay, thank you so much. It's 20 till 11 at 610 WIOD. I'm not going to make a big fuss about the salad today because I'm sure that it's going to come in on time, early and nice from Sonny, right? Do you notice yesterday how he was sucking around frantically? about how, oh, yeah, I'll send however many you want. Now, what the hell was that all about? In the past, and then in the same breath, he's saying, I was disappointed because you were giving it to somebody else last week. Remember that? Last Thursday and Friday, you weren't eating it. So, in other words, he'll send it over here as long as I eat it and rave about it and salivate and go nuts. But if I share it with beautiful, lovely Nilda up front, or George, the beautiful, lovely George, or anybody else, then he's got a problem. I don't understand that, Sonny. Just send the chow over here, and we'll figure out who's going to eat it. I noticed Cheryl just marching up and down the hall, just psychotic and surly. Boy. We have an open line in Dade County, 751 WYOD. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I don't know about the
the handmade wok from the People's Republic of China, sir.
Yes, sir.
They're banging them out right now. There's another one.
I think the worst one is the vacuum hair cutters.
I haven't seen that. Somebody told me about that just yesterday.
Oh, I mean, over and over on Prime Network, again and again.
The vacuum hair cutter?
They hook up this hair cutter to a vacuum cleaner, and the guy claims he's never cut his hair before, and so forth and so on. Does it without a mirror, and there's no mess, and it's a new revolution. It's going to replace the wok, I guarantee you. That's the worst.
Well, how do you know how much hair you're cutting off?
Oh, they have these little things that look like giant combs they put on their different links, so it can only hit your head so hard.
Oh, man.
Just watch. It'll be on there. And F4, it's everywhere.
Boy, look out, Miriam. You may be out of business, huh?
Yes, sir. That's all I had to say, and Joe's a douchebag.
Thank you, sir. The hair, God almighty. You know that 90% of the stuff they sell on TV is crap. I like the ones, the slicers, the little slicers, and they have the blades you put in. Then they have that woman who acts like she's... Well, there's a whole bunch of them. There's the woman with the thing where she makes those sandwiches, and no matter what she puts in, they all look the same. What do they call that thing? It snaps shut. It looks like it probably weighs about 2 ounces. And it snaps shut. You know what I'm talking about.
Triangular thing.
Yeah, they make every sandwich is like a big triangle. And no matter what you put in there, and she's spooning, how about a little mushrooms and a little bit of olives? And it's embarrassing because she's making like pudding, and she's putting that crap in there. But she's making pizzas, and everything looks the same. It looks really dried out and gross and like almost stale. And she sticks it on a plate. Isn't that beautiful? And you know who's on that with her? That big fat guy. What's his name that's on in the afternoon on that stupid show? The big... what is his name? And he's shoveling down. Oh, how about, it's so light. Oh, and his eyeballs are rolling around. How about 80 of those desserts, huh? He looks like Fat Rich in heat. Market's up 25 points, by the way. Hallelujah. Well, I told you it was a great day. What is his name? Damn it. But anyway, I'm even forgetting what they call that thing. That's one of them. And then there's the woman that's got that little, it looks like a... I don't know what that looks like, but it's got a little thing coming down with a little tiny blade at the end, and you stick it in there. You stick it in the can of peanuts, and you make peanut butter. That's the way I would do it. I would just stick it right in the can of those peanuts and make peanut butter in the can. She looks like she's been on the can. But, and then she's making it's just incredible. Now, you know that stuff is all like Tinker Toy junk, and I guarantee that some of you have bought some. What is it?
Snack Master.
The Snack Master. Thank you, whoever called that in. The Snack Master. Yes. And you just stick your little thing in there, and it comes out with these triangles, and you stick them on that plate, and the kids throw them at you and beat the crap out of you for trying to pass off that crap as a snack. Miramar.
Yeah, Neil, it's Sonny. I can't bring your salad in, but I can bring you a Snack Master sandwich.
Well, okay, Sonny. Boy, your voice, you're changing your hair. Look at that, your hair.
Hey, Neil.
Maybe you need one of those hair-cutting vacuum cleaners, sir, by Kirby. It just sucks the hair right off your head.
Okay.
You can look like Zero Mostel in about 2 minutes.
Sucked my ear off. Hey, listen,
Watch yourself, sir.
About Danny Bun, douchebag.
Oh, man. I got to have my own
that
card
was a
of
good
that.
one.
I got to have my own card. I'm sorry. I don't usually steal material, but that's the best belch in history.
Was that a 6 or a 7?
That was a 9. Ooh.
Oh, God.
Ooh, and there's different ones on there, too, aren't there? I think there's different ones.
Control yourself, Neil.
Boy.
Listen, that's...
Don't ever get that card back, believe me.
About Danny Don, a douchebag. You have to read between the lines.
Yeah.
See, he paid a 20, and it was a transvestite. When he asked for the second act, the transvestite couldn't do it and said, hey, he had to reveal himself, and then so Danny freaked out and beat him up.
Yeah, that could be it.
And as far as
and it turned out to be David. I couldn't believe it. It was disgusting.
Finding a guy in his closet, how'd they get in the house without a search warrant?
Well, you would now don't start getting interested in all these details. I mean, they probably made the story up in the first place,
Yeah,
but
they
it's
probably
exciting. This is the kind of stuff that America loves. It'll be on hard copy and soft copy, and that's what we like.
Okay.
Did you see hard copy yesterday with Fred Schatz?
No, I didn't.
The alleged Dr. Fred
It's
Schatz?
hard. It is very hard.
That's what he said when that show was over.
He can't control himself either.
Very hard copy. That'll be on this afternoon. Have a great day, sir. 10:45 at WIOD. We're starting to pick up a little steam now. I want that snack master. That's not what they call it. That's the other one. Now, they have another name for it, don't they? The snack, the something. The piece of crap is what they call it. And what's that guy's name? The big, fat guy. Always wears that same black sweater and his eyeballs roll around. And he puts that stuff. It looks like fluff. It looks like marshmallow fluff in a big glass. And he starts eating that with a spoon, and he says, you think he's like having some kind of an emotional experience or something. What the hell is his name? Don't you people know anything? Coconut Grove.
Same old belching and the same old talking.
Let's take a call from Coral Springs. Hello.
Hello, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm enjoying your radio program.
Well, that's
here.
great, sir. So are we. We're having a time of our lives.
Listen,
without
I've
Patrick
seen
Swayze.
the Walkman on television.
The what?
The Walkman.
Wally Nash.
So, yeah, that's him.
And you notice they put in all the vegetables, and then he puts in like 3 little pieces of meat. And he says, my boss is cheap, too. That's why you don't get much meat.
Yeah.
I wonder what he meant by that.
Hey, listen, I'm an ex-New Yorker, and I'm enjoying Florida. I moved down here for good.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
The only disagreement I have is with these French Canadians. I have one as a neighbor.
Well, they're all leaving, sir. Is your neighbor still here?
They're always here.
Well, drive them to the bus station, okay? Tell them the hockey playoffs start today. It's time to get their asses back where they came from, okay? Parlez-vous, adios.
Hey, listen.
Yes.
Could you do me a favor? I have
doubt
a request.
I doubt it. What is it?
Well, if you can, my sister's here from
Yeah. Your sister's here from Saskatchewan, from Moose Jaw.
Well, I'd like her to hear the I-95.
Good. Well, tell her to keep listening, and one day we'll play it. 10:47 at WIOD. We have an open line in Broward, 524-9463. That has got to be, I got to confess, because it's not mine. But listen, I'm easy when it comes to stealing material. That's got to be the greatest cart in history, doesn't it? Got to be certainly one of the top 3 already, and we haven't just started it. So, it's like a lot of other things. They start with it, and then we make it famous. 10:47 at WIOD. We'll take a little break here. We'll be right back. 51 at WIOD. Kind of a furious first hour here today for a Tuesday. I would say that myself. 655 WIOD. There's an open line in Palm Beach. Christopher Hewitt is the big fat guy with the bugging out eyes and the stupid look and all that crap. Anyway, and he's on some idiotic show that's on in the afternoon, reruns or something. I have no idea what it is.
Mr. Belvedere?
What is it? Oh, Mr. Belvedere. That's who that is. What a slime ball. Pompano.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
2 things. I was over at Pompano Track last night, and first time I saw you in person, and I was going to come over and shake your hand, but you were surrounded by Fat Rich.
Yeah, he's my bodyguard.
Yeah, and the other is, I've no auntie or uncle in from town, but...
what is it? Speak English now,
I've no auntie or
sir.
uncle in from town, but if you get a chance, will you play Spigot and Freeway?
What is this, Request Tuesday? We don't do requests, sir.
Well, if you get a chance, though, will you play it?
Unlikely. 10:52 at WIOD. We have an open line in Broward. I don't understand this all of a sudden out of nowhere. We got all these different things in the air. We got our walk up in the air on the stove. And this guy, and we got 2 in a row there. Oh, my aunt's in from St. Louis, and this guy doesn't have anybody in, and I can understand why. Forget it. We're doing a radio show here, okay? Put a quarter in the slot. We have an open line in Palm Beach, 655-9463. We still have no lady who bought a wok. Here's a mobile in Hollywood.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
Yeah, I originally called to tell you Christopher Hewitt, but I guess somebody already called. Did you ever see
Was he related to Bill or Foster Hewitt?
No. Did you see The Producers, though? The movie The Producers?
No.
You never saw the movie The Producers?
Yeah, with Mel Brooks.
Right.
Yeah.
He played the flamer producer, movie producer, play producer.
It's one of my favorite movies, The Producers.
Oh, really? Well,
Springtime for Hitler?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what I had
Isn't that amazing that I actually remembered that? Because I have a blank in my mind about movies.
Well, it's not my fault.
No, I'm just explaining. I'm not blaming it on you, so you don't get defensive and psychotic about it. I'm just telling you. I'm admitting it's one of my...
Call. I was originally in Hollywood. Now I'm in North Miami by the time I got on the air. Jesus Christ. No, well, I meant to call you to tell you Christopher Hewitt. Somebody already did it.
Well, I'm glad you hung on to tell us that. That was very kind of you, sir.
Okay. Bye, Neil.
See ya. Douchebag. 10:54 at WIOD. We have an open line in Broward, 524-9463. And guess what? The dial line you hear, the dial tone is on Palm Beach, 655-9463. They don't know Christopher Hewitt from Martin Hewitt. Whatever happened to Martin Hewitt, by the way? Do you remember that movie, Endless Love? Wasn't that the name of the movie with Brooke Shields? That was a good movie. That was a depressing movie, but a good movie. And he burned the house down. I don't blame him, okay? Those pain-in-the-ass parents, man. Oh, that was the movie. Who was the guy that was in that? See, now I'm gonna lose it. Don played her father. Don Murray? Was that his name? Played Brooke Shields. She had those real hippie-type parents that were smoking dope with all the guys. And the mother saw them by the fireplace on the living room floor. Remember, she was coming down the stairs, and she took a look and got all goosey-eyed and hysterical and pretty excited. I wonder what she was thinking as she stood there at the top of the stairway.
It's hard. It is very hard.
We have a caller in Kendall.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the space lady.
Well, like, you know, that,
Yeah, like what?
that snack master thing. You never
Snack, that is, snack.
Yeah, you
Watch
know-
your language.
You never guess which radio personality actually bought one?
Probably Greg Budell.
No. Craig Worthing. He was talking about it. He said it was a disaster.
He doesn't talk to you, does he?
Well, he was, yeah.
No wonder he's been a little depressed lately.
I think he's getting Norman Kent to sue.
Yeah, I would too. What do you think about that little pipsqueak, Danny Bonaduce, huh? What?
Oh, God, he's getting desperate.
Yeah. How'd you like to open up your closet and find him crawling around in there?
Blah.
Yeah, amen. Well, have a good one.
Bye, Mark.
Okay. Yeah, amen. I like her. She's okay. She's my kind of dingy bitch. We have an open line in Dade, 751-9463. Do you get the feeling there's a little psychosis in the air in this building? You get that feeling as you walk around the byways and highways and hallways? Boy, I think some of it had to do with those ball games this weekend. I mean, this town finally did something great. Really came out there in gigantic numbers. It was a tremendous experience. Gave us like 75 more strikes up as far as getting that Major League franchise. And yet inside this building, there just seems to be a little, I don't know. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Mark, first-time caller.
Yes, Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Not bad. 95 is pretty clean. And on the subject of these TV ads, has anybody brought up the runless stockings that we hear? Maybe Danny Bonaduce needs them.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe that was the problem. Maybe they had the runs in the closet.
Also, a few weeks ago, you played something by the Fugs. I think it's called Boobs a Lot or something.
Yeah, it's not by
I'm
the
not
Fugs,
asking
by the
for
way.
a... was that the right song, though, that I just said?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Neil, as the first call, and I just want to say that Matt and Jack, you're incredible.
Well, wait a minute. Well, what about the song? I don't understand.
Oh, the song is great. I used to listen to it when I was a kid. I thought it was a pretty neat rendition of
a great classic.
Yeah, a great classic along the lines with the I-95 song.
Right.
But I had a good chuckle listening to it, and I didn't think anybody else in South Florida knew about it. But you're obviously a man of taste. Idiotic jerk.
That's what they call me, sir. Have a great life.
You too.
10:57 at WIOD. There's one open line now. It's on that Star line. If you got Bell South Mobility, man, we're willing to pay the big bucks for a couple of minutes anyway at Star IOD. Here's a mobile in Miami paying for their own.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. In the producers, I know the younger guy wasn't it Gene Wilder?
Yes, sir.
And the older guy was, who? Don DeLuise? Or I can't really...
Don DeLuise, that's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Great movie.
And Bancroft was in it?
Terrific movie. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And also, loan me $50.
Okay, Larry.
Right.
See ya. 10:58 at good old WIOD. We have an open line. Well, it is kind of a sad day when you read that kind of stuff about these child. I hated Danny Bonaduce anyway. Didn't you? Everybody hate him in that show? Oh, disgusting. I even like Dave Madden, Reuben Kincaid better than him, and I couldn't stand him. The dippy agent. Oh, man, is he a dip. He does some spots. You notice all these old character actors, they do spots. And they make a lot of money doing commercials, too, by the way. But they sure can't get any other work, so they do a lot of spots. Like Tom Bosley. Oh, man. There, I swear to you, if there's one person in the history of television who can make me nauseous in 2 seconds, I'd like to take a gigantic Glad bag and stick him in it, okay? And, like, just take that twist-on tie and tie it up so tight that no air could possibly penetrate. And then just, like, put it in a gigantic incinerator. Oh, man. Tom Bosley. There's another one of those TV shows. Happy Days. God almighty. What did you people see in that show? Fonzie, Henry Winkler, total slimeball. Idiot. Moron. And Richie, with his cocoon now. What is his name that played Richie? What's his name? Come on, get with it. You got to be sharp on this show, George. Richie on Ronnie Howard, of course. See, you knew it all the time. And speaking of that, look at that. With his body shirt, there's Manny just came in looking like a real sleaze bag. Clean yourself up, will you please? Last guy dressed like that here is Can. Henry Barrow's got the 11 o'clock news, the latest on that Alberto San Pedro thing. Boy, I bet you there are people right in this block who are getting emotional and psychotic about that story. And then we'll come back at 11:05. Rick and Suds with a mystery, it says here. Dick and Tater from 2 to 6. Sports Talk with yet-to-be-determined host 6:05. Hank live from Los Angeles, 8 o'clock with writer David Israel tonight.